I just went to a bridal show and I bought stuff for Christmas presents because I am not trying to be waiting till the last minute. Last year I was literally making my cousin's Christmas present Christmas morning. Like, I think we were supposed to go to my aunt's house at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I was working on it at 10 in the morning. So that is not going to be me this year. I already have ideas for basically everybody that in my family except for a few people. But not what I wanted to talk about. Today is going to be about my biggest regret in life. And I have just been, like, this incident has been in my mind for, like, ever since it happened. And it's not just this one particular incident. It's just how I am as a person. So, I'm very, if you don't know me, and I'm not comfortable with you, I am very quiet. I'm very, like, okay, like, I'm not gonna cause waves, like, make waves, whatever that saying is. I'm not a confrontational person. Like, if I'm not comfortable with you, especially in a situation where somebody has authority over me. So, the last job that I had, I technically got fired. No, not technically, I did. Because I found another job, and I told my other job that, I think I might have briefly touched on this in one of my mukbangs, I don't know. Or I might have edited it out because I didn't really want my channel to be negative, which whatever, like, it's a negative situation, but now I'm, like, looking back and I'm trying to learn from it. Anyway, so I got another job because I was just fed up with that job. First of all, I was only really, it was kind of a seasonal job, but not really, because I did get hours, like, all year round, but I would go from, like, 40, 50 hours to 10 to 15 hours. I'm like, I need something more steady. Even if I, like, get 30 hours a week, but I get 30 hours a week all year round, that's still better than going from 40 to 10. Because really I would only have like 50 hours for like a week or two. But anyway, so I got another job, and when I got the other job, I told them, obviously I had on my application that I have another job, like if I were to get this job, I would need to give them 2 weeks notice. Well, I go to orientation, and they're telling me that I need to work from 9 to 4 or something the very next day. I'm like, I don't know, don't know if I can work because I have another job. And she was like, well, you said that your availability was open and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I did say my availability is open after I put in my 2 week notice. They didn't care. They're basically telling me that I need to come to work. I'm like, okay, so let me talk to my boss. Like, maybe she'll, like, understand. So I go there, and I tell her, I'm like, okay, so I have another job, and they're telling me that I need to work tomorrow, at 9 o'clock in the morning. She's like, well, that's not my problem. I'm like, okay, I understand that, but I'm just letting you know, like, is there anybody that can cover my shift? She's like, that's your responsibility to find somebody. Which I knew that because I already did. I looked at the schedule. Literally, and the problem was that there was like a select few people that were not in high school. So this was during the week, and this was like before the summertime because I didn't work there this summer. This was before summertime, so everybody was still in school, and everybody that wasn't in school was working already. I'm like, I asked a few people, but so far I haven't heard anything back, or they said no. She's like, well, you need to keep trying because it's not my responsibility to find somebody to cover your shift. And in my head, I'm like, well, if I don't come in tomorrow, it's going to be your responsibility. She's like, if you don't show up to work tomorrow, you're fired. And then, I don't even know. We were just going on and on. She's like, the way you feel about this new job and how you want to not come in here and work is how you should feel about this job. Well, in my head, I'm like, bitch, I don't, because first of all, this new job is paying me like $4 or $5 more, and I was barely making over minimum wage. to top it off, this is just a little tidbit. This really doesn't have anything to do with it. This girl that she was there longer than I was there. Or no, actually she wasn't. I think she came in around right after the time that I started working there. And, but she was in high school when she started working there. So she only worked the weekends, and then she still basically only worked the weekends because she went to college. So basically this whole time that I was here from the beginning, because I wasn't in high school and I wasn't in school, or I was taking online classes, from day one I was full-time there. I was working 5 days a week. This girl was working, which I like her. She's a good person, but I was working 5 days a week, and she literally, for maybe like 2 or 3 months, because it was like towards the end of the summer, from that summer, she started working full time. And she comes up to me, she's like, yeah, so-and-so, our boss was talking to me, and she wants to make me a manager, and I'm like, bitch, what? I've been here 2 years, you've been here, like, 2 years-ish. Maybe she was there before me, I don't know. But, like, I didn't say any of this, but, like, you've only been working weekends. Like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I really need to get out of here because, and then I was texting my aunt, she's like, well, maybe she doesn't know that you want to be manager. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Technically, do I want to be manager? No, because it doesn't really do anything. I didn't think it was a pay raise, and all I had to do was I had to be in control of money and the key. No, I do not want that responsibility. But she should have still offered it to me, considering I was there. I always came in when she wanted me to come in and all this. My whole point of telling this story is my biggest regret is I just wish I was more assertive and I stood up for myself more, because I think that situation was absolutely ridiculous. The way she treats her employees. I heard, like, I think a couple weeks after I quit there, somebody that my aunt works with went to the place that I worked, and there was like a little misunderstanding with a customer, and the boss called the worker in front of a line of people an idiot. Like, who does that? I'm like, she should write a review, but she never did. I told my aunt, I'm like, you should tell her to write a review on Facebook, Yelp, whatever, and she didn't. But it's funny because I go on and check their reviews, and like now it's like rude customers don't know anything. I mean, rude customer service, the employees don't know anything, they're not knowledgeable, and I'm like, but the thing I don't understand is, like, if I called out and she didn't know that I had another job, like, was she gonna fire me? No, I doubt it. Her thing was like, I don't care if you had another job, we could have worked around it, but to come in here and tell me you can't come to work tomorrow is ridiculous. Okay, so what if I got sick and called out? She probably would have fired me, because she fired some lady because she called out because she had to take her dog to the vet. I just wish I was more assertive. That's just my biggest regret. And I remember it happened with me at my other job before I worked there, when I used to work at the daycare, because I made my schedule. Like, I took night classes, I took online classes, I made my schedule so I could work as many hours as I wanted, like, as she would give me, and she would still only give me like 20 hours a week. And like, I didn't say anything, and then she made somebody else an assistant teacher. And I'm like, why did she get this position over me? At this point, I was fed up with her. I'm like, why did she get the position over me? She was like, well, she's been here longer. I'm like, no, actually, she hasn't. I was here before she was here. She's like, well, she's been full-time longer. I'm like, yeah, that's because you give her full-time hours. I'm like, I take online classes and I go to night classes so I can work, and you still only give me 20 hours. And she had nothing to say. Yeah, I'm working on it, trying to be more assertive, because I mean, obviously you don't want to be too much, but I'm like nothing. Like, I'm like so like, oh, I'm like timid. Like, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a comment down below, tell me what your biggest regret is. I try not to regret things, but that is like such a big regret of mine for right now. but I'm working on it. So let me know your biggest regrets down below if you have any, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.